Hi everyone, welcome to Jen's Gym. I've got another full body workout for you today, another 7 exercises that should work all the big major muscle groups of the body. If you are needing a little bit of guidance with a warm-up, you can check out my warm-up video on my YouTube channel. So do a little search on Jen's Gym Candelo and I should pop up. You could follow that warm-up. It should take about 5 or 10 minutes to get yourself warmed up. The equipment that you will need for today, it's a workout that can be done at home, so just a few simple things. If you've got a kettlebell, per chance, something not heavier than 6 kilograms, but if you haven't got a kettlebell, a reusable shopping bag or a bucket or even a lightweight piece of furniture, I'll show you how we're going to use it. We need a step. It will depend on your fitness level and of course what step you have available around your house that you can use to do step ups onto. You'll need a hand weight, something between a 2 to a 6 kilogram weight. You'll need a tea towel or a strap, something that's about that long, and a visual line on the floor for you to do a drill, and a timer with some seconds on it, so maybe just a clock with a second hand, just something simple is all you need. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with an exercise to activate the glutes. So if you lie down on your stomach, there's 2 versions of this exercise. The first level, keeping your head in a neutral position, I want you to lift your opposite arm and opposite leg. This is called a Superman. So 1 left, right, is 1 rep. So lift and hold for a good second or 2 and lower. Lift and hold for a second or 2 and lower. Okay? The other level, the next level, is lifting both of your arms and your legs together. So lifting everything together. Again, holding for a second or 2 and lower. Lifting everything, keeping your arms and legs straight, keeping your head in a neutral position. And that's Superman's. That should get your bum going and also the muscles along all along, up and down your back. Okay, moving along to legs. We're going to do, there's 2 exercises for legs. The first exercise is a single leg balance exercise, which is appropriate for people who are not able to load their knees. The second exercise is for people that their knees are okay to load, so we're going to do step-ups for the second exercise. But this exercise, the first one, is a single leg balance exercise. If you have a kettlebell, this is the simplest way to do this exercise. So stand on 1 leg, slip your toe into the handle and get a good balance, and then we're going to lift. Just hold it for a second at the top. So we've got a balance element here and a little bit of a strength element, working on those hip flexors. You may not have the right weight of kettlebell, so you might need to improvise. If you do, you can use a reusable shopping bag, stack a few books in it, and I tried this just before. Put your foot in there and tie it around your ankle, and then you can do exactly the same thing with a bag tied to your ankle. If that doesn't work for you, you could even do it with a lightweight piece of furniture, something that's got a low lift on it, a low bottom. Put your toe underneath it and lift. And if you put something really heavy on that, you don't actually need to lift it at all. Just put something really heavy on it, put your toe under it, and then try and lift it, and just hold that position, mindfully pulling it up as hard as you can. So there's a few different ways of doing that one. Obviously, you've got to do both legs. So that's the single leg balance. And then we move along to step-ups. This exercise is not recommended if you can't load your knees. But for everyone else, we're going to step up with the left, high knee thrust with the right, and up over the head with a hand weight. Step back down with the right, down with the left. Up with the left, knee thrust, overhead, down. Up with the left, right knee thrust, back down. So we're going to do the same leg over and over again. You might do 3 or 4 sets of these. the weight that you have to push up over your head doesn't need to be especially heavy. We're really just wanting to get the heart rate up, so anything between 2 and 6 kilos. And then swap. Making sure when you come up on the step that you come to full hip extension. So all the way to here. You're not coming sort of to there, all the way up. Okay. That's step ups. One thing I should have explained about the step ups is you can vary the height. If you have some choices, you can do anything really from 10 centimetres up to 40 centimetres or 50 centimetres if you're really strong. So you just need to find that thing that's just right for you. Okay, moving on to upper body now. We're going to do pull downs with a tea towel or some kind of strap or a strong band. We're going to start with our hands at shoulder width, and then we're going to put some tension on that band, pulling it as hard as you can, pulling your hands apart, and then pushing it up over your head, and then pulling it back down. And as you're pulling it back down, I want you to be mindfully pulling your shoulder blades back down into your pocket. The other thing you need to be mindful of is to not arch your back. You want to keep everything nice and tight, keep your core engaged while you're pushing this up and down. And really concentrate on pulling your shoulders down and squeezing your shoulder blades together. So I'll show you from the back, pushing up, really pulling those hands apart and pulling those shoulders down, elbows down and back behind you. Really pulling everything down, pulling those hands apart. It doesn't look like much, but actually that'll get a sweat up if you really concentrate on pulling that band apart and pulling your shoulders down. Okay, that's towel pull downs. Now, bear crawling. You need a little bit of space for this one. If you've got a 5 to 6 metre clear space, that's great. If you don't, we can do it a different way. So this is your starting position with your feet hip width apart, hands hip width apart or shoulder width apart, and then we're going to walk on our hands and feet. You can count the reps by counting the number of times that your right hand takes a step or contacts the ground. So we're going to go forwards and backwards. So if you don't have much space, we're just going to go as far forward as you can and then go backwards, and you just have to do more of them. So this is a really good all over body exercise, but it's especially good for your shoulders. Be mindful to keep your weight over your hands. So your shoulders should always be somewhere hovering above your wrists. And that's bear crawling. Okay, the next two exercises can be done as a circuit. If you're not up for a circuit, then you can do each exercise independently. But the first exercise is boat, water, boat. So this is kind of a bit of a drill for agility and balance and coordination. So there's two levels. The first version of boat, water, boat is stepping into the boat and then into the water, into the boat, into the water. So you need a little imaginary line, or a not imaginary line, a join in your carpet, a line in your tiles. You could even lay some tape down on the floor if you needed to. Okay, so we're stepping into the boat, out, and staying up on the balls of your feet. We're going to do it as quickly as you can. Okay, that's the first version. The second version is jumping. So we're going to jump into the boat, out of the boat, into the boat, out of the boat, into the boat, out of the boat. And we can do it quickly and get the tempo up. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Okay, so that's the first version, the first exercise, boat, water, boat. And then we're going to do planking with taps. So this is the first version. The standard plank, have an object out in front of you. So get into a nice strong plank position, nice straight legs, bum tucked, legs nice and straight, and then we're going to reach and tap. That's one rep. One left, right tap is one rep. If you can't do that, down on your knees, exactly the same thing, keeping everything nice and tight, not allowing your body to roll as you take one hand off the ground. Everything stays nice and still, it's just the arms. If you can't do that version, and you need to come up and get a little bit of height, then come up onto seat level or even bench level if you need to. Same thing, stretch out in a nice long plank. You want to have your feet a little wider than hip width apart. And then we're going to tap over your shoulder, as far down your back as you can reach. Again, keeping everything nice and tight, not allowing your body to roll when you take one hand off the surface that you're on. Okay, so that's planks with taps. So you can cycle through those two exercises, one after the other. You can take a small rest, 10, 20-second rest in between each exercise, or not. You can just keep on going with it. You might do 3 or 4 rounds, and that should get your heart rate up and do a bit of strengthening of all the major muscle groups. Okay, so don't forget to do a cool down at the end of your workout. Again, if you need some guidance with a cool down, there's a video on my YouTube channel. You can check that out. I also have a PDF file that details a bit of a guide on how many sets and reps to do of each of the exercises that I've demonstrated today. So if you would be interested to receive one of those, then make a comment down below and I will send it to you. Thanks again for joining me. See ya!